This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Yeah, so let us start the session. Fine. Today we are going to start EC2. So EC2 is the first service. So to create instances, instance means server in AWS. So the server will call it as EC2. EC2 means it is a elastic compute cloud, right? So we'll start with EC2, which is first service. So as a DevOps engineer, we are responsible to create infrastructure and we have to maintain the infrastructure. So we'll start with EC2. Yeah, it's a elastic compute cloud. So how to create instance and how to connect instance and how to deploy packages in the instance, we'll try to understand. Okay. So this is not admin role, this is DevOps role. Okay. So when we talk about servers, we should not think about admin role. Okay. Normally admins will maintain these servers traditionally, but in real time cloud environments, DevOps engineers will maintain. Okay. There is no separate cloud role. DevOps engineer should maintain this. Okay. Fine. EC2. Okay. So here we have elastic compute cloud, right? So what is elastic in general? Elastic and ఏంటండి? Flexibility, expanding, stretchable, right? So elastic means stretchable, expanding like this, right? So what is compute? For example, so if you want to buy any laptop, so what you will consider? How much RAM is there, how much CPU is there, and hard drive, how much is there, operating system, what is operating system, right? So that is nothing but configuration. So compute means configuration, right? So this configuration is available, this configuration is elastic, means in AWS, whatever resources we have, those we can increase and decrease by single click. Got it, right? For example, so we are working on one database server or any web server. So in middle of the activity, it is giving some performance issue. So on the fly, we can increase the resources by single click and we can decrease the resources. That is nothing but elastic. In AWS or Azure or GCP, any cloud. So we can, by single click, we can increase the resources. By single click, you can decrease the resources. That is nothing but elastic. So this configuration is elastic and this configuration is available in cloud. That is nothing but elastic compute cloud, right? So two times we have C, right? That is why EC2. So actual definition, what is definition of this? Okay. So EC2 is a service which is available in AWS to create instances in secured way, right? So instances we can create in secured way in AWS using Elastic Compute Cloud, right? So that is the definition. Yeah, let us go to console. This is my AWS console, right? To create instance, when you want to create an instance, right? So click on services, right? Compute, click on EC2, right? Services, compute, EC2. So before creating instance, we have to choose the data center where you want to create instance. That is most important, right? So on which data center we have to create instance. By default, it is selected US Ohio, US East Ohio 2 region. So if you want to create instance in Mumbai region, you can select Mumbai. or else Europe region, you can select Europe region, right? So this will be decided by project teams. They will give you a requirement. For example, one project team is required some servers. Okay, so we require 10 instances with 8 GB RAM, quad-core processor, 1 TB hard drive. So the server should be available in Europe region or Asia Pacific region. They will give you requirement. So based on the requirement, we have to create the instance. So this data center also we have to choose based on the project team requirement, right? First we have to decide where you want to create instance. So by default it is selected Ohio region, US East 2 region, right? Now, so I go to services, compute, click on EC2, click on EC2. Yeah. So here when I click on EC2, whatever servers are available in my console, those are showing here, right? Those are available. So now I want to create new instance, for which click on launch instance, click on launch instance, right? So when I click on launch instance, here we have different images, which are nothing but AMIs. AMI means Amazon Machine Image, right? So we have 44 AMIs, means 44 images. So basically what is image? For example, if you want to install Windows on your laptop, what we will do? We use some image, right? The same way, AWS is providing some images here to create instances. So different types of images are available, like Amazon Linux 2 AMI, Mac OS, different flavors. Okay, so different Mac OS and RHCL, Red Hat Enterprise Linux flavor, and SUSE Linux, Ubuntu, Microsoft Windows, different servers, different flavors, right? These are all 44 AMIs. 44 AMIs are available, right? So whatever AMI you require, that you can choose and you can create instance here. So here all the flavors are available, but one flavor is not available, which is CentOS is not available here. CentOS is not available. So if any flavor is not available, any image is not available, we have to go to AWS Marketplace. So click on AWS Marketplace, and here you can search CentOS. Here, these are the CentOS flavors. So whatever flavor you require, you can search in AWS Marketplace. Okay. Here you can search and you can select whatever you require. CentOS 7, CentOS 6, CentOS 8 also available. Different flavors are available, right? As per the requirement, you can select the AMI. Go back here. Launch instance. Yeah. See here. So, and one more important thing here is, so some servers are showing free tier eligible, some servers are not showing, some images are not showing free tier eligible. What is this? Here you see here, free tier eligible. There is no here, no free tier. Here there is a free tier. Here there is no free tier, like this, right? So here, whatever free tier eligible are there, those are free servers. So in our test lab, we have to choose free tier servers only. If you select this server, what will happen? Bill will be generated, right? So that is why whatever free tier eligible servers are there, those we have to choose, right? Next one. So 64-bit x86 or 64-bit ARM. So by default it is selected 686. So normally most of the project teams, they use this 64-bit. Okay, ARM version we don't use normally. Okay, default value is 64-bit x86 only. You can keep this value. Okay, yeah. Before that, so hope everyone created account, right? AWS account. Any challenges, anyone? Account creation లో మీకు ఏమైనా కన్ఫ్యూజన్స్ ఉన్నాయా? ఛాలెంజెస్ క్రియేట్ చేశారా? చేయలేదు. ఓకే, క్రియేట్ చేయకపోతే ఈరోజు చేసేయండి, ఎందుకంటే మనకి డే బై డే సర్వీసెస్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతూ ఉంటాయి. సో మీరు ఏ రోజు ఆ రోజు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తే సో మీకు ఈజీ అవుతుంది, లేదంటే విల్ గెట్ కన్ఫ్యూజ్డ్ అన్నమాట. సో చాలా కన్ఫ్యూజన్స్ వస్తాయి మీకు అంటే ప్రాక్టీస్ లేకపోతే
Sir, I create.
ప్రాక్టీస్
Sir,
యా గో అహెడ్
sir, I created without any issue.
fine okay yeah so every day once we complete the session so you can go through the session once again and you have to practice otherwise you will have some confusions okay fine so now I am selecting first AMI Amazon Linux 2 AMI okay selecting this first one select click on select once I select this see here next it is showing some types of servers types of images not servers types of images so families different types of families are available T2 family T3 family T3A family T4G family different types of families are available different family means different configurations different types so types see here types also T2 nano T2 micro T2 small T2 medium like this so when you select T2 nano one virtual CPU and 1.5 GB RAM will be 0.5 GB RAM will be available right so when you select T2 micro one virtual CPU 1 GB RAM so when you select T2 medium, two virtual CPUs, 4 GB RAM. Based on your type of mission, when you select, you will get the configuration. You will get the CPU and RAM based on your type of mission. Okay. So here T2 micro only the free of cost. See here, free tier eligible. This is only the free tier eligible. So these are all not free of cost. If you select this T2 medium or T2 large, some bill will be generated. That is why in real time we don't use free tier eligible. We use paid versions only. But here in test labs, our test labs, we have to use free tier eligible, right? So I'm selecting T2 micro. Next one is instance storage, EBS volume, EBS only. EBS means elastic block storage. This is high performance storage. So AWS is providing high performance volumes, EBS volumes. Okay. And the network performance is low to moderate. Network performance is low to moderate means so it will give very good performance. Okay. Next one is it supports IPv6 also. Currently we are using IPv4. The IP address ranges we are using IPv4 so maybe going forward future after 2 years maybe we use IPv6 okay so yeah I selected this T2 micro after that next click on this configure instance details click on this now so number of instances how many instances you require for example I require 100 instances I can give 100 right? So as per the project team requirement. So for now we can create one instance only. Okay. Next one is we have auto scaling group. What is auto scaling? Auto scaling is nothing but so yesterday we discussed I think yesterday or day before we discussed whenever we require any resources auto scaling automatically increase the resource. Whenever there is no demand it will decrease right. So this is 1 hour service 1 hour session. We'll discuss later this. Whenever we discuss about auto scaling, we'll go deep dive. Okay, this is 1 hour service. So for now, how to create instance, we'll try to understand. Okay, yeah. So I selected one instance, number of instance, one instance. Next one is purchasing option. What is this? So here it is showing request spot instance. So when I check this, it is showing some basic pricing. $0.0035 right some basic pricing they are showing okay so they are showing some basic pricing but they are not charging anything here okay so currently they are showing basic pricing but they are not charging anything so for example this option is still not useful in real time this purchasing option is not useful in real time so because we are in starting stage currently we are in starting stage for example this is our AWS data center. This is our AWS data center. Okay. So currently we are in starting stage means Still we are utilizing 30 to 40% of the resources. 30 to 40% of the resources we are utilizing in cloud AWS data center. We are in starting stage, right? So once we utilized 90% of the resources, means, for example, so we have 1,000 servers available in the data center. Once we utilize 900 servers, means 90% utilization is happening. This pricing will not be available. Basic pricing will not be available. This pricing will be changed. We are in starting stage, that is why they are showing some basic pricing, but they are not charging anything. Once the resources are utilizing 90%, more than 90%, this pricing will be changed. So globally, we are utilizing maximum 30 to 40% resources. So day on day it is growing. Once it is reaches to 90%, the pricing will be increased. Once it is reaches to 90%, what will happen? We will not get any free tier servers, free tier accounts. We don't get any free tier storage, free tier network, free tier servers. So everything will be paid. Okay. So because this is in starting stage, right? Yeah, fine. This is all about Walla Uber concept. This is all about Walla Uber cabs we have, right? Walla Uber cabs, Uber cabs, Walla cabs, Uber cabs. So this is all about Walla Uber. Like we can compare with Walla Uber, because so when they started service Walla Uber cabs, initially what they did, they gave some free offers, free trips, free discount, 50% off, 30% off, like that, right? So now what they are doing currently, they are charging more. In peak time, if you book the cab, what will happen? For example, if you want to go to airport by 10 o'clock, that is peak time, business hours. When you book by 10 o'clock, it would be double the charges. So normal time, it is normal charges. So peak time, they will charge more. The same way, AWS also doing business. So initially, they are giving some offers. Maybe after 2 years, they will not give any free tier servers, free tier accounts. Okay, everything will be paid, right? So this option is not useful in real time currently. So maybe after 1 year, after 2 years, this will be useful. Okay, so I'm unchecking this, not required this currently. Next one is network. So network means VPC, virtual private cloud. Yesterday we discussed, right? Availability zones, regions, right? So when we discuss about VPC, we'll go deep dive. So this will take 1 hour, right? So network, subnets, auto assign public IP, placement groups, capacity reservation, domain join. Up to here we discuss later when we talk about VPC, right? So for now, how to create server we'll understand. We'll try to understand. Okay. Yeah. Next one is IAM. What is IAM? It's a identity and access management. It is all about user management. So how to create user, how to switch to user, how to connect as a user. So we'll try to understand when we talk about IAM. This is also 1 hour service. Okay, when we talk about this, we'll go deep dive. So in real time, normally we don't log in using root user. Root will be disabled. So we always log in using IAM user, right? So that is why we require IAM user. How to create user, how to connect user using IAM user, how to connect, and how to apply permissions to user. So we'll discuss later, right? Next one is shutdown behavior. What is shutdown behavior? By default, it is showing stop state. So here, when you select terminate, here we have stop and terminate, right? If you select terminate, what will happen here? When you stop your server, the server will be terminated. The server will be terminated when you stop your server. That is why we always keep the value stop state. We always keep this stop state. But why they gave terminate option? Why they gave this option? What is the importance here? right? So yeah, normally in real time, last month I gave some corporate training in our project. Okay, nearly 45 members joined in the corporate training. So corporate trainings are like morning 10 to 6. We have to give training morning 10 to 6. Okay, 3 days I give Kubernetes training. Kubernetes training, completely end-to-end training I give 3 days. In that training, our team members joined, managers joined, directors joined, and other team members also joined. Right? 45 people nearly joined in the team, in the meeting. So I give 3 days corporate training. So by the time we create some servers for lab, every person they use some server, cloud servers. Okay, using their laptop, they connected the cloud servers. Okay, so by the time we choose this option, terminate option. So once complete the training by end of the day, what they will do? They stop the server. When they stop the server, automatically server will be terminated. Got it, right? So when we select this terminate option, when we stop that server, automatically terminated. No need to terminate again, right? For temporary servers, we choose this terminate option. Okay, so we created for temporary practice that servers. So by end of the day, the server is terminated. So that is why this option will be useful. So always we keep this stop state on. Okay, got it right? Clear, Andy? Why we require this shutdown BL? Yeah. Next one is stop hibernate behavior. Okay, this also we'll discuss later when we discuss about network. Okay, so next one is enable termination protection. This is important. So why we require this? So by single click we can create a number of servers, right? By single click we can terminate a number of servers also. So in case, so accidentally if you terminate any server, so if you enable this option, it will protect. It will not terminate. It will give you some pop-ups. Are you sure? Are you sure? You want to delete like that. Okay. So by single click, you can delete servers. You can create servers also, right? To when you enable this, it will give you some pop-ups. You can choose that. If you want to terminate, you can click OK. It will be terminated. Right? In real time, we enable this option. Next one is monitoring. So this is CloudWatch monitoring, server monitoring, right? So when you create server, normally we enable this to monitor our server, because if the server is having any issues, any errors, any service down, so this CloudWatch always monitor and it will send you notifications. We'll get notification through emails. So, but this service is not free of cost. This is additional charges applied. So don't enable this in test labs. Additional charges will be applied. Okay. Next one is tenancy. Tenancy means what will happen? Yeah. In the tenancy, we have three options: shared, dedicated host. Okay. So by default, normally we use shared only. So when we choose shared, what will happen here? For example, this is our data center. When we choose shared tenancy, so when we create any instance, when we enable the shared, for example, so we selected shared. Okay. So when we create an instance, this is the cloud data center, right? AWS data center. This is the shared area, shared place. Any place our server will be created. In the shared area, our server will be created in any of the rack, right? So when you select dedicated one, second one is dedicated one. This is dedicated one. When you select dedicated, what will happen? Yeah. Yeah. When you select dedicated, what will happen here? You will get some dedicated space for you, like this. This is only for you. In that space only, your server will be created. So we are handling one project. Okay. In our organization, we are handling one project, which is a Singapore project, DBS project. DBS means it is a Singapore bank, right? So we have local data center in Hyderabad. So we are handling DBS project. So the DBS project team, they request us to create their own space in the local data center. So one space means, for example, this is the data center completely in the floor. Okay, one space means data center under data center. Small room we create. In that only we configure servers. The same way in cloud also, when we choose dedicated, so that servers will be created in dedicated space. It's a more security, right? Yeah. For example, we are using some municipal water taps, right? So when the GHMC team configure the tap in street, everyone can use that common tap, right? So if they configure inside of your home, that will be dedicated for you, right? The same way here also, when you enable tenancy, so that is dedicated for your project only, right? Yeah, but this is not free of cost. This is the additional charges applied. So when we choose this dedicated one, so we'll get more charges, right? This is dedicated one. Third one is dedicated host. What is this? So dedicated host means in this data center, so we will have some host, different hosts like this. So wherever you want to create instance, in that dedicated host, it will be added, it will be created, server will be created. That is also extra charges will be applied, right? So normally in real time we use shared only. Some project teams they request us to create dedicated, like banking domains, instance domains. They request us to create in dedicated host. That is more secure. So cloud is all about secure, but again extra layer, extra security, right? Yeah, these are the three options: shared, dedicated, and dedicated host, right? Fine. You can difference between instances. Yeah, instances, host. Instance means server. Host means a rack. Rack means it is a container. Inside of the rack, we'll deploy so many servers. We insert so many servers. సో హోస్ట్ అంటే మళ్ళీ సర్వర్ని కూడా హోస్ట్ అంటామండి, కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవ్వద్దు. హోస్ట్ అన్న సర్వర్ వస్తుంది, కానీ డేటా సెంటర్లో హోస్ట్ అంటే ఏంటంటే ఒక ర్యాక్ వస్తుంది. ఓకే, సో మీరు స్లోగా గోయింగ్ ఫార్వర్డ్ యూ విల్ అండర్స్టాండ్. ఓకే, సో ఇన్స్టెన్స్ అంటే సర్వర్ అండి, మనం సర్వర్స్ వాడతాం కదా. ఆ డేటా సెంటర్లో హోస్ట్ అంటే డెడికేటెడ్ హోస్ట్ అంటే ఒక ర్యాక్ ని హోస్ట్ అంటాం. ఓకే, సో ఇంకా ఇక్కడ మనకి డిఫరెంట్ ఉన్నాయి. ఎలాస్టిక్ ఇన్ఫరెన్స్ అని ఒకటి ఉంది. So what is this elastic inference? So normally this will be used in machine learning projects. Okay, we don't use in our test labs. This is for machine learning projects. When you enable this, so the performance will be high. Machine learning projects server performance should be high. Otherwise, the project will not run. Activity we cannot run. Right? So in machine learning purpose, we use this elastic inference. Okay, and create specifications, file systems. This we will discuss later. Okay, so when we work on this relevant services, by the time we can use this. Okay, yeah. Next one. Click on add storage. Next one is click on add storage. Next. Yeah, so this is storage, right? So storage volume type is root and device /dev/xvda. This is the device name. Like in Windows we have C drive, D drive, right? The same way in Linux we have drive name, right? And snapshot means it is one replica, one copy. So whatever volume we are creating, for that one replica will be created, like backup copy, right? Next, size of your volume. By default, they are giving 8 GB. If you want to increase to 50 GB, you can increase like this. But additional charges will be applied. That's RAM, one virtual CPU, 1 GB RAM. This is hard drive storage. Okay. So by default, they are providing 8 GB. But if you want to increase, you can increase. But additional charges will be applied. For now, we can choose 8 GB only. Next one is volume type. General purpose SSD. SSD and ఏంటండి? What is SSD? What is SSD? In our laptops also, we are using SSD drives, solid state drives. Those are high performance drives, right? In laptop, we'll have hard drive, so small card will be there. That is SSD drive, high performance drive, high performance volume, right? So here we have different types of volumes available. Whatever you require, you can choose. By default, it is selected. First one, you can keep this first one, right? Next one is IOPS. What is IOPS? IOPS means input output per second, your volume speed. IOPS means your volume speed. Here it is showing 100 by 3000. It is the volume speed. Okay, and throughput is not required basically. Next one is delete on termination. What is this? If you choose this option, if you check this option, what will happen? So, for example, normally in real time, what we will do, whenever we get the requirement from the project team, we create the servers and hand over to project team. They started the development. Once they complete the development, they will inform us to terminate the servers. For example, we hand over to project team servers. So they started working on the project team, project activities, development. So once they complete the activity, development, what they will do, if the servers are alive still, bill will be generated. That is why they will inform us to terminate once complete the project. So by the time they will inform you to save the data, store the data, whatever coding is available in the servers, that they will ask us to save. So if you select this option, what will happen? Whenever you terminate the server, along with the server, this volume also will be terminated. The storage also will be terminated. So that is why we always uncheck this in real time. So when you terminate the server, if you uncheck this, this volume will be available. Server will be terminated, volume will be available. Whenever the project team is required this data, we can provide the data. Got it, right? Yeah. Next one is, for now I am selecting this. Next one is encryption. So whatever data we stored in the volume, that data we can encrypt. Encrypt means we can convert into binary format. So we can restrict others to read the data. If you want to encrypt your data, you can choose this encrypt option. Okay. Yeah. And also, so this is one volume. If you want to add any additional volumes, click on add new volume. Additional volume means like C drive, D drive, you have a laptop, right? C drive, D drive, E drive, like that, different volumes. If you want to have, you can add these volumes like this. Like this you can add, right? So I'm removing this. Fine. Next one is add tags. Click on add tags. So these tags are for our understanding. What is tag? Tag means server name. So why we require tags? For example, we have data center in Hyderabad. So in data center we have 1000 servers, for example. Okay, 1000 servers. In 1000 servers, one server is giving some issue. Some hard drive is failed. We are getting some alerts through CloudWatch or some tool. So when we get the alert, when we enter into the data center, how can we identify the server? We have 1000 servers, different racks are there, nearly 15 racks are there, or 100 racks are there. In that we have 1000 servers. How can we identify the server, particular server? Using tags. IP address, it's fine, but tag name is important. So which rack is available, which tag name, that is important. Right? Using tags only can identify. The same way in cloud also. So to identify server, we have to create tags. Right? Click on add tag here. So tag name, N capital, tag name, the value. We can give some app server name. We can give like this, some app server. Yeah. Next one is configure security group. Next, configure security group. Click on this. Yeah. So what is security group? So if you want to connect any Linux server, how can we connect? If you want to connect any Linux server, ఎలా connect అవుతుంది?
Through putty. Through putty.
Yeah, through putty we can connect. Also, we require some SSH authentication. Through SSH authentication, we can connect our Linux server. So SSH authentication required 22 port number should be enabled, right? So here port number is available, right? So here create a new security group or else choose existing security group. Select existing security group, right? So this port should be enabled in the security group. Then only we can able to connect our Linux servers. I'll explain again this. Okay. So security groups again we will discuss. Okay. For connecting server, we required for connecting Linux server, we required 22 ports should be open in the security group. Okay. So this is open, right? Next one is source from where you want to connect this Linux server. So here it is showing custom. Custom means from custom IPs you can connect this server. And anywhere means from any system you can connect the cloud server. From my IP, if you choose my IP, for example, only my IP from my laptop only, I can able to connect my cloud server. These are the options. For now, I am selecting anywhere, and also I want to give the security group name. Giving fast track. Okay, DevOps batch fast track. So same name I give here. చాలా ఉన్నాయి చూపిస్తాను, డోంట్ వరీ. సో లైనక్స్కి అయితే 20 పోర్ట్ కావాలి. ఇక్కడ మీకు చాలా పోర్ట్స్ ఉంటాయి. సి హియర్ డిఫరెంట్ పోర్ట్స్ అనే ఉన్నాయి. మనం సెక్యూరిటీ గ్రూప్ డిస్కస్ చేసినప్పుడు విల్ గో డీప్ ట్రైన్. సో ఇక్కడ మనకి డిఎన్ఎస్ పోర్ట్ ఉంటుంది, ఎస్ఎంటిపి, రైట్, ఆల్టీసిపి, కస్టమ్ ప్రోటోకాల్స్, ఎల్డాప్, ఐమ్యాప్, ఎస్ఎంబి, డిఫరెంట్ పోర్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి మనకి. సో ఫర్ నౌ మనం ఏం చేద్దాం అంటే ఎస్ఎస్హెచ్ చూద్దాం. అంటే సో ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు కనెక్ట్ లైనక్స్ సర్వర్ వి రిక్వైర్ దిస్. Okay, yeah. Next, click on, yeah, add rule means if you want to add one more port, you can click on add rule here. See here, you can choose one more port here, whatever port you want, right? So we'll see this, we'll discuss this. I remove this. Okay, for now I'm selecting 22 port only, SSH port only. Okay, so click on review and launch. So you can review the configuration here. So I'm selecting instance type T2 micro, 1 virtual CPU, 1 GB RAM, EBS volume, and network performance low to moderate, and authentication SSH, port number 22 open. So security group name I gave this one, description also I gave like this, and instance details, click on this. These are the details available. So after that, storage, 8 GB storage I'm selecting, right, tag name, app server, right. So these are the details we gave. Click on launch instance. Next, click on launch instance. So once you click on launch instance, right, so it is asking to choose some existing key pair. So what is key pair? What is key? Every Linux, every cloud server, not Linux server, every Windows or Linux server, cloud server will have one particular key. Using that key only we can connect the server. Without key we can't connect Linux server or Windows server in cloud. Okay, so for which, so it is asking you to choose existing key pair, or else you can create new key pair, or else proceed without key pair. So in real time, without key pair we should not create any servers. Okay, so I'm selecting this create a new key pair. So key pair name we have to give here, key pair name. So I'm giving the same key pair. Yeah. And I want to download this key pair. Click on download key pair. Not downloading. Now it is downloading. Yeah, it is downloaded. Next one is click on launch instance. Click on launch instance. Now it is launching. So click on this. Now app server is launching. Right? So now it is in running state. Our server is ready. Fine. So we downloaded one key pair, right? Just click on this that key pair. Click on this. See here. This is the key pair, right? So this is the key provided by AWS. For every Linux machine, will have one key. So even though you can choose existing key also. Okay. If you have this key you can use for other servers also. While creating servers, you can choose this, right? So this much of key, anyone can hack. Is it possible to hack this key? Can hackers, anyone a hacker can hack this key? It is not possible, right? This level of security is provided by AWS, right? So this level of security they are providing. That is why cloud is all about secure, right? Since long I am seeing cloud platforms. So without any security issues, those are handling. We are handling, right? Yeah, this is the key. So now our server is launched. This is our instance. It is in running state. Now it is launched. If you click on this, it will show you all the servers, whatever available in the console. This is our server, app server, right? So in cloud, every server will have public IP, private IP. In normal physical server or virtual servers, how many IPs will be there? How many IPs will be there in physical or virtual servers? Only one IP, which is network IP, right? But whereas cloud will have two IP addresses. So వాయిస్ వినిపిస్తుందని మీకు సమ్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ నాయిస్ వస్తుంది. నరసింహ గారు అండ్ సాంబశివరావు గారు, నా వాయిస్ క్లారిటీ ఉందండి?
ఉంది సార్.
మీకు నాయిస్ ఏమి వస్తే చెప్పండి, నేను ఇయర్ ఫోన్స్ పెట్టుకుంటాను. ఎందుకంటే సో అవుట్ సైడ్ రైనింగ్ అండి, అంత సౌండ్ వస్తుంది. ఓకే, సో మీకు ఏదైనా నాయిస్ వస్తున్నట్టుంది చెప్పండి, నేను ఇయర్ ఫోన్స్ పెట్టుకుంటాను. ఓకే అండి, fine. So here we have cloud server, which is app server. I selected this. Every cloud server will have one public IP and private IP. So this is public IP, this is private IP. To connect our server, we use public IP. Public IP means it is a dynamic IP. It will change dynamically every time when we restart the server. This will be changed. Okay. Private IP is static IP. So this will be permanent IP for your server. So to connect our server, we use public IP. Once we connect the server, we use private IP. I'll show you that once connect the server. Okay. Yeah. Next one is how to connect this server. We'll try to understand. So actually to create server, it will take 1 minute only, but we took 45 minutes nearly, because we walk through one by one, right? So to create server only 1 minute. So from tomorrow, every day we'll create servers. Okay. So I'll show you how to create server, how to connect server within 1 minute. Okay. First time you'll have some confusion, little confusion, but so going forward after two, 3 sessions, it is very easier to handle. Okay. First time only little confusion, right? Yeah. So our server is ready. How to connect this server, we'll try to understand. Fine. So here we have one key pair. Using that key, we have to connect our server, right? So for which we required some putty session, putty. Linux, this is a Linux server, right? Using putty, we can connect our server. The Linux side. On Amazon Linux is one. This is a Linux server. So మనం విండోస్ కూడా క్రియేట్ చేద్దాం, డోంట్ వరీ. సో ఫస్ట్ ఏంటంటే మనకి ప్రొడక్షన్ లో ఎప్పుడు కూడా లైనక్స్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం. ప్రొడక్షన్ ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్స్ ఎప్పుడు లైనక్స్ ఉంటాయి కాబట్టి మనం లైనక్స్ ఫస్ట్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాం. లైనక్స్ సర్వర్ క్రియేట్ చేయడం చాలా సింపుల్ అండి, మీరు కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవ్వద్దు ఎక్కడ కూడా. ఓకే, లైనక్స్ సర్వర్ క్రియేషన్ కనెక్టింగ్ కూడా చాలా ఈజీ. సో మీకు సింపుల్ గా కనెక్ట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, సింపుల్ గా యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు. ఓకే, సో ఐ షో యూ దట్ సింపుల్ మెథడ్స్, రైట్? యా, నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఇస్ టు కనెక్ట్ అవర్ ఇన్స్టెన్స్. First we required putty, right? So how to download putty, I'll show you. Yeah. So how to download putty, how to install putty, I'll show you first. Download putty for Windows. Like this, select first option here, download putty for Windows. And click on here, download putty for putty. So it is asking you which version you require. Okay, so first one you can take x86. Normally most of the systems we use this version only. Okay, click on this, it will be downloaded. When you click on this, it will be downloaded like this. So once it is downloaded, just double click on this, it will install automatically. Next, that's it. It's very simple, small application. Okay, so once you install that, so this symbol will come, to computer symbol. Click on this. This console will be available to connect our Linux server. Once we install the putty, this will be available. Two computer symbols are available, so it will be opened like this. Okay, so after that, how to connect our instance? There will be small process to connect our Linux server. Okay, so first time we have to understand that. Later on, you don't need to follow that. Okay, yeah. To connect our Linux server, so we downloaded our key pair, right? So go to key pair, go to downloads. So this is our key pair, right? Delete this, not required. So this is our key pair, DevOps batch FT. I give key pair name, right? So this is our key pair. So if you open this key pair, this is the key, right? So this key is in PEM format, .pem format. The file is in PEM format, .pem, right? So that PEM format will not understand by putty, right? So this file we have to convert into PPK format. PPK means putty private key. This format we have to convert into PPK. So that PPK format will be understood by putty. So when we convert into PPK, the same key will be available in PPK also. So Linux server is required key only, but putty will understand only PPK format. That is why we have to convert this file into PPK format, right? So how to convert that? So when we download putty, along with that putty, when we install putty, along with the putty, one more tool will be installed, which is putty gen, right? Using that putty gen, we can convert this key pair, PEM to PPK, right? How to convert, I'll show you now. So search here, putty, see here, putty gen. Along with putty gen also installed here. Open this putty gen, right? Here we have to convert this file, right? For which click on load, yeah, and go to downloads where the file is available, and select here all files. See here, this is our PEM file. See here, PEM format. Select this file, click on OK, and save private key. Click on save private key. Yes, where you want to save this? Select desktop, and the name, whatever name you want to give, you can give like this. Same name I want to give. Click on save. Once you save this key will be saved in desktop as PPK format. See here, this is PPK file. So PPK format will have some hat symbol, right? So these are the different PPK files. See here, other PPK, other project, other batch PPK files. Okay, so we converted this PPK, right? Using this PPK, we can connect our Linux server, right? Yeah. Now, I'll show you one more time how to convert this. Okay, quickly I'll show you, because first time you will have some small confusion. How to convert PPK? I'll show you once again. So first you search here PuTTY. So this is a PuTTY. Open this. So click on load, and you have to select your PEM file. Go to downloads. Select all files. You can choose this. Select this. And name also you have to give, right? So just a minute. I don't save this. Go to PuTTY, right? Load. Go to downloads. Select all files. Select your PPK. Now, not PPK. PEM file. The same name if you want to create, you can create, or else you can give different name also. 1, 2, 3 something. Different name I want to give. Okay. Click on open. Quickly select. Okay. Click on save private key. Once you select that key pair, got it right? So I'll show you once again. Don't confuse anywhere. So PuTTY, open PuTTY, load, select your, go to downloads, select your file, choose this, double click on this. Okay. After that, save private key. Click on save private key. Yeah, I'll show you. I'll give you. So when I click on this, what it is asking, are you sure you want to save this key without something it is showing? Okay. Yeah. Now, where you want to save? On desktop, I want to save. Give the name, whatever name you want to give. 1, 2, 3 I'm giving, for example. Click on save. When I click on save, this will be created. Right? This will be created in desktop. You have to select desktop and it will be saved in desktop. Right? So this is the way normally we convert into PPK. Right? So if you have any confusion, I'll explain again. Don't worry. Okay. Next one. So now I want to connect this instance using PuTTY. Okay. So this is our server. See here, app server. So this server is having public IP, private IP. To connect our server, use public IP. Click on this. It is copied. IP is copied. Open partition. Paste IP address here, public IP. Go to SSH, expand this. Authentication, click on authentication. Go to browse. Choose your key pair. This is the key pair. Click on open. Yes, first time it will give you pop up. Yes. Yeah, now it is asking login ID. Right? So we created one server which is Amazon Linux. For Amazon Linux, default user is EC2-user. Yeah, this we have to remember. Okay, so Amazon Linux default user is EC2-user, right? And Ubuntu default user is Ubuntu only. CentOS default user is CentOS only. RHCL, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, default user is EC2-user. Okay, so these are the default users. First time when we log in. So after that we can create one user and we can hand over the server to project team. Right? So now I'm using default user which is EC2-user. user. Now I am able to log in my cloud server. So I'm able to log in. So now if you want to increase the font size here, this font size if you want to increase, right click here, change settings, appearance, change, bold, 16 or 18, whatever size you want to increase. Okay, apply, like this. You can increase the size. Even though this background color, if you want to change, right click here, change settings, color. So background color, background, default background. If you want to modify, if you want to choose any background color like different blue color or something, like this you can change background color. Okay. This console you can change whatever you want. Right? And also foreground also can change. This letter color also you can change, foreground color. So same way, right click, change color, select foreground, modify. If you want to choose any green color or yellow color, okay, like this. So this foreground, background, whatever you want to change, you can change in real time normally. So people will use some background color, red color or blue color, whatever they want. Okay, yeah. So now this server is ready. Server is accessible. We are able to log in server. So after this, how to deploy the applications, we'll see later. Don't confuse anywhere. Okay. So to deploy applications, I'll show you in next session. Okay. Fine. Now, once we create this server, right? So this is the server we are using, right? So this is the public IP, private IP. So up to here, any confusion, any questions? ఇంతవరకు any questions ఉన్నాయా? ఎక్కడన్నా మీకు కన్ఫ్యూజన్స్ ఉన్నాయా? లేవు కదా? సో మీకండి సాంబశివరావు గారు అండ్
సార్ అది సర్వర్ క్రియేట్ చేసేటప్పుడు సెకండ్ స్టెప్ లో మనకి థర్డ్ స్టెప్ లో కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ ఇన్స్టాన్సెస్ లో అది రావట్లేదు సార్. అంటే స్టాప్ బిహేవియర్ థర్డ్ స్టెప్
ఇక్కడ ఏం రావట్లేదండి.
కొంచెం కిందకు రండి సార్. ఆ పైన షట్ డౌన్ బిహేవియర్ రావట్లేదు సార్. నాకు షట్ డౌన్ బిహేవియర్ టెనెన్సీ రాలేదు.
షట్ డౌన్ బిహేవియర్ టెనెన్సీ చూపించట్లేదండి.
చూపించలేదు.
నా కన్సోల్ మీ కన్సోల్ ఒకలానే ఉందండి, వేరే ఉందా?
ఒకేలాగానే ఉంది.
అంతా సేమ్ ఉందండి.
అంతా సేమే ఉంది సార్. నంబర్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్స్టాన్సెస్ 1, రిక్వెస్ట్ స్పాట్ ఇన్స్టాన్సెస్ ఇది పర్చేజ్. ఓకే.
సో ఒకసారి మీ స్క్రీన్ షేర్
వచ్చింది సార్. అది పైన నేను పర్చేజ్ ఇన్స్టాన్సెస్ రిక్వెస్ట్ ఫర్ స్పాట్ అది ఎనేబుల్ చేశాను, అందుకే రాలేదు. ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
చేయొచ్చు, చూద్దాం. సర్వర్ స్టోరేజ్ ఎంత యూజ్ చేస్తాం అది కూడా చూడొచ్చు, చూపిస్తాను. యా, సో దిస్ ఇస్ అవర్ ఇన్స్టెన్స్, రైట్? సో యాజ్ వి డిస్కస్డ్, every server will have 2 IP addresses, right? So public IP and private IP. So today another 30 minutes I'll cover today because you will be confused. Okay, so I am ready to give whatever I want to, but you will be confused. That is why I give some information about IP addresses now. Okay, so we can complete within 30 minutes today. So tomorrow we'll go little advanced. Okay, at a time if I give all the information you will confuse. That is why. So now what we will do, discuss about IP addresses. Fine. So IP addresses are like here in cloud, two types. Okay. Public IP and private. Right. So public IP is this one. One second. This is the public IP. So public IP is dynamic IP. This is a public IP. So public IP is it is a dynamic IP. Dynamic IP means dynamic IP and data. Dynamic IP means it will change dynamically. Whenever we stop server, whenever we start the server, IP will be changed every time. Right? So dynamically it will change. Backend there will be a DHCP server. DHCP means dynamic host configuration protocol. So backend there will be a dynamic host configuration protocol server. So when we stop our cloud server, this DHCP server will take back that IP. Whenever we start the server, this DHCP server will give new IP. Every time it will change the IP. Right? So this is the private IP. This is the public IP. This is a dynamic IP. Right? So private IP means it is not a dynamic IP. It is a static IP. This is private IP. This is a static IP. So it never change. It never change until you terminate your server. Okay. So this will be permanent IP for your system. But dynamic IP will be changed every time. Right? So for example, this is our instance, right? Currently this is the public IP, this is private IP. Now what I will do, I want to stop this server. Select this server, go to instance state. I want to stop this. Click on stop. Stop here. When we complete our practice, we can stop like this. If the server is not required, we can go ahead and terminate like this. Click on terminate. Terminate means delete. Completely, the server will be gone. It will be removed from the console. Right? So, if you have still practice, you have to stop that. Okay. Yeah, it is stopping now. So once we stop this server, what will happen? We'll see that. See here. There is no public IP. It is gone. So private IP is available here. So this is permanent IP, right? Yeah. Now, again I want to start this server. When I start this server, what will happen? Public IP will be changed. It will receive new IP, right? So go to select server, go to instance state, start instance. Now it is starting. Yeah, see here. Now it is new IP allocated, right? Just copy this IP and compare here. This is another IP. See here. This is earlier IP. This is new IP. Right? So, and private IP also can check. This is private IP. Copy this. See here. This is private IP. So it is not changed. See here. Same IP is available. But public IP is changed. Right? Public IP is dynamic IP, private IP is static IP. But every time this IP is changing. Whenever we start, IP is changing, right? So in real time, if you use this public IP, it's very difficult to handle servers because every development team, every testing team, they log into servers, right? So when the IP is changing, they will confuse how to log in server, right? That is why, so my client requirement is, my client asked me to assign static IP. In place of public IP, he asked me to assign static IP. How to assign that? That is the concept. Okay. So that is nothing but elastic IP. Elastic IP. One more IP is there, elastic IP, which is static IP. In place of public IP, we can assign elastic IP. That would be permanent IP for your server. When you restart server, when you stop server, IP never change. Because in real time, for servers, we use elastic IPs only. Elastic IPs are not free of cost. These are costing, right? So when you allocate elastic IP address, once complete the practice, you have to remove that. Otherwise, bill will be generated, right? So elastic IP. Now, so I want to assign this server to elastic IP. Here there is a public IP, right? So in place of this, I want to assign elastic IP because I don't want to change the IP again and again. So in place of this, I want to assign elastic IP. How to assign elastic IP? So here go to left side here, drop down, network and security, one option is there, right? Instead of this, we have elastic IP addresses, elastic IPs. Click on this. So here there is no IP address. We have to allocate one elastic IP. Click on allocate elastic IP. When you click on this, one IP will be allocated, right? Click on allocate elastic IP. Yeah. Now, so give the tag, new tag, name, app server, right? Our server is app server IP. I'm giving the name like app server IP to understand easily. Okay. Click on allocate. See here, this is the elastic IP allocated, elastic IP address allocated. Allocate means, so the IPs are available in cloud data center, but we are taking one IP from cloud data center. So now we allocated, but we haven't assigned to server. Now we have to assign this IP to server, right? So in place of public IP, we have to assign this elastic IP. So how to assign this elastic IP to your server? That is important. Select elastic IP, go to actions, click on this, associate elastic IP address. Associate. Allocate means taking the IP, associate means connecting this IP to your server. Okay. Click on associate elastic IP address. Where you want to associate. Right here, choose instance, choose an instance. Click on this. These are the instances are available. Are like normally what will happen? So no need to stop the server to allocate. So on the fly you can allocate. Okay. So this is the server which is in running state. App server. So you can choose this. Right. This is the instance ID. We are mapping instance ID and elastic IP. So that what will happen? That IP will be mapped to your server. Go down here. Associate IP address. Click on this. Private IP మీరు చూస్ చేయొద్దు. ప్రైవేట్ ఐపీలో డేటా ఏమవుతుంది సో మీరు ప్రజెంట్ పబ్లిక్ ఐపీ వాడుతున్నారు కదా. సో పర్మనెంట్ ఐపీ మీకు ప్రైవేట్ ఐపీ ఉంటుంది. ప్రైవేట్ ఐపీ ఎక్కడ మిస్ అవ్వదు. పబ్లిక్ ఐపీ ప్లేస్ లో ఎలాస్టిక్ ఐపీ వస్తుంది. యూస్ చేయకూడదు. కనెక్టింగ్ సర్వర్ వి యూస్ పబ్లిక్ ఐపీ ఓన్లీ. టు కనెక్ట్ సర్వర్ రియల్ టైం కూడా అంతే. రియల్ టైంలో కూడా కనెక్ట్ అయిన తర్వాత ప్రైవేట్ ఐపీ కనిపిస్తుంది. సో మీకు ఇక్కడ చూడండి, మన పుట్టి కనెక్ట్ అయింది కదా, ఇది ప్రైవేట్ ఐపీ. ఒకసారి లాగిన్ అయిన తర్వాత మీకు చూపించే ఐపీ ప్రైవేట్ ఐపీ వస్తుంది. బట్ టు కనెక్ట్ యువర్ సర్వర్ వి యూస్ పబ్లిక్ ఐపీ. పబ్లిక్ ఐపీ వాడతాం కనెక్షన్. కనెక్ట్ అయిన తర్వాత మాత్రం మీకు ప్రైవేట్ ఐపీ ఉంటుంది. చూడండి 39.201 రైట్. అటు నోట్ చేసాను 39.200. దిస్ ఇస్ ప్రైవేట్ ఐపీ. సో ఇది ఏంటంటే మనం ఒకసారి కనెక్ట్ అయిన తర్వాత వస్తుంది, కానీ కనెక్ట్ అవుతాం మాత్రం పబ్లిక్ ఐపీ కావాలి. అది మీకు నార్మల్ పబ్లిక్ ఐపీ అయితే చేంజ్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. సో దట్ ఈస్ వై వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ ఎలాస్టిక్ ఐపీ. సో ఇట్ నెవర్ చేంజ్. ఓకే, so now we associated elastic IP address to our server. So this is elastic IP we allocated to our instance. Just correct column. Private IP nunchi server connect column. Okay, so this is elastic IP, right? Now you go and check your server. Go to click on instances here. See here, if you refresh now, see here, so this is the IP which we changed now. Copy this, ఇక్కడ కాపీ చేయండి, కంపేర్ చేసుకోండి. This is elastic IP. Earlier it was public IP. Now this is elastic IP. One second. ఒక నిమిషం, లేదు ఇంకా అప్డేట్ అవ్వలేదు, ఇంకా అప్డేట్ కాలేదు. సో ఇంకా అప్డేట్ కాలేదు, జస్ట్ వెయిట్ ఫర్ 1 or 2 minutes. See here, now చూడండి. So this is changed. This is elastic IP. This is elastic IP. Same IP. See here, this is elastic IP. This is ఒకటి IP. Same, right? So when we allocate elastic IP in place of public IP, elastic IP will be allocated. That IP will not be changed. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఏం చేస్తానంటే, సో ఐ వాంట్ టు స్టాప్ దిస్ సర్వర్ వన్స్. సో ఐపీ చేంజ్ అవుతుందో చూడండి ఒకసారి. సో ఈ సర్వర్ ని స్టాప్ చేస్తాను. సెలెక్ట్ దిస్ సర్వర్, ఇన్స్టెన్స్ స్టేట్, స్టాప్ ఇన్స్టెన్స్. Now it is stopping.
Sir, in that case, where we can use that private IP?
యా, ప్రైవేట్ ఐపీ ఎందుకు అంటే మనకి సో ఇంటర్నల్ కమ్యూనికేషన్, సర్వర్ టు సర్వర్ కమ్యూనికేషన్, ఇంటర్నల్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ ప్రైవేట్ ఐపీస్ వాడతాం. దోస్ ఆర్ స్టాటిక్ స్టాండర్డ్ ఐపీస్. ఒక సబ్నెట్ లో మనం క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం అనుకోండి, అవి స్టాటిక్ గా పర్మనెంట్ గా ఉంటాయి ఐపీ అడ్రస్. ఓకే, అది ఎక్కడ యూజ్ చేస్తామో చెప్తాను, మళ్ళీ చూపిస్తాను.
ఓకే, ఓకే సార్. Can we customize the IP addresses, sir? Means for all the servers, can we give this 10.1.2.1, 10.1.2, 3 like that? Can we give, or it will be randomly allocated?
Correct, good question. So in real time, as per our IP ranges, we can choose, but in test lab we can't do that. In test lab, test environment, so randomly గా మనకు వస్తుంది IP. సో మనం టెస్ట్ ల్యాబ్ టెస్ట్ ఫ్రీ టైర్ అకౌంట్ వాడతాం కదా, సో మన రిక్వైర్డ్ ఐపీ మనం అసైన్ చేయలేము, ఇక్కడ కస్టమైజ్ చేయలేము. బట్ రియల్ టైమ్ లో మన ఐపీ రేంజ్ ని బట్టి మనం అసైన్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఇక్కడ చార్జెస్ ఉంటాయి డెఫినెట్గా, ఎందుకంటే ఎలాస్టిక్ ఐపీస్ ఫ్రీ ఆఫ్ కాస్ట్ కాదు కదా, చూస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. రియల్ టైమ్ లైసెన్సింగ్ ఉంటుంది, సో పెయిడ్ వర్షన్స్ ఉంటాయి, అది చూస్ చేసుకుని మనం ఏ రేంజ్ కావాలి మీకు ఆ రేంజ్ అసైన్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. అది క్లయింట్ విల్ పే ద బిల్స్, మనం పే చేయము, క్లయింట్ బిల్లు పడుతూ ఉంటాం. ఓకే, యా. సో ఇక్కడ చూడండి, సో ఐ స్టాప్ దిస్ సర్వర్, స్టిల్ ఐపీ ఇస్ అవైలబుల్. I stop this server, IP is available still because this is elastic IP address. So the same IP is available. Just copy this again. Elastic IP. This is same IP is available, right? So now I want to start again. So this IP never change. Elastic IP will not be changed. Now it is in running state, right? So still same IP is available, 90.57. 90.57. Same IP, it never change until you terminate your server, until you release your IP. Okay? Yeah. So this is the way normally when we get requirement in real time, when client asks you to assign elastic IP addresses, we have to allocate IP and we have to assign the IP to servers. Right? So any questions on that? Any questions? Anyone?
No, sir.
Sir, if
Now what I will, yeah, go ahead. Jump in.
sir, if you'd like to create 1,000 servers, then we have to get the 1,000 elastic IPs one
Yes,
by
yes.
one.
One by one we don't select. So we have some script. Okay, we use some script. సో టెరాఫామ్ లో చూపిస్తాను మీకు. టెరాఫామ్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు ఎలా అలోకేట్ చేస్తాం ఐపీ అడ్రసెస్ 1000 సర్వర్స్ ఉంటే అది అడ్వాన్స్ లెవెల్ అండి. అక్కడ చూద్దాం. ఓకే
ఓకే
యా ఫైన్. నెక్స్ట్ ఏంటంటే సో హౌ టు రిమూవ్ దిస్ ఐపీ అడ్రస్, హౌ టు రిమూవ్ ఎలాస్టిక్ ఐపీ అడ్రస్ ఫ్రమ్ ది సర్వర్. ఓకే యా నౌ సో దిస్ సర్వర్ is having elastic IP address. I want to remove this elastic IP address from the server. Server is in live, it is in running state, right? So now I go to elastic IP address, select elastic IP address, go to actions, deassociate elastic IP address. When you deassociate, what will happen? It will remove from the server. Server is remove అయితే మరి సర్వర్ పరిస్థితి ఏంటండి? ఏమవుతుంది సర్వర్? Yes. Automatically one public IP will be assigned, right? So now I want to deassociate this. Click on deassociate elastic IP address. Click on deassociate. Now the IP is deassociate from the server. Still IP is available here in the console, but it is removed from the server. Okay, now go to servers, instances. If you refresh now, so IP will be changed automatically. See here, new IP, dynamic IP assigned here. Copy this and paste here. And paste here. See here. This is different IP, this is different IP, right? So public IP, dynamic IP assigned automatically when we deassociate from the server, right? Now from this console we have to release this IP. Otherwise, still bill will be happened. If you keep this IP, we just hold this IP, right? If you hold that IP, bill will be generated. We have to release from the console so that it will be gone, right? Now select this IP, go to actions, release elastic IP address. When you click on this, it will be gone from the console, right? Click on release elastic IP address, release. Now it is gone. Now nothing will be happening, right? So this is the way we can allocate elastic IP, associate elastic IP to server, and one if you want to remove that IP, deassociate. After that, you have to release that IP, right? So this is the way normally you can work on the elastic IP addresses, right? So this is in running state now, right? Yeah, up to here,
Sir.
it is very, very important. Yeah, go ahead.
Can't we roll back the elastic IP address once we deassociate?
Yeah, we can hold, but this is not free of cost. So hold means what will happen? From data center, we are holding one IP address. That IP is not free of cost. If you hold that for few days, bill will be generated. So if you go and check in the billing dashboard, some bill will be generated. Don't hold that IP address. Okay, elastic IPs are not free of cost. If you hold that, some bill will be generated.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So ఈ సర్వర్ ని మనం టర్మినేట్ చేద్దాం. So select this instance and terminate instance. Now this is terminating. సో వన్స్ టర్మినేట్ చేసిన తర్వాత మనకి 15-20 minutes అక్కడే ఉంటుంది సార్. ఇది కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవ్వద్దు, మీ కన్సోల్ కనిపిస్తూ ఉంటుంది. సో ఆఫ్టర్ 20 minutes ఇట్ విల్ గాన్ కంప్లీట్లీ, ఇట్ విల్ బి గాన్, రైట్? సో టర్మినేట్ చేస్తే వెళ్ళిపోద్దండి, డేటా పోతుంది. అది అన్చెక్ చేస్తే వాల్యూమ్ని డేటా అదే చూద్దాం, ఆ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఉంది మనం. ఈవీఎస్ వాల్యూమ్స్ కవర్ అవుద్ది. మీరు అడిగింది అదే కదా, ఈవీఎస్ వాల్యూమ్ లో అన్చెక్ చేస్తే డేటా సేవ్ అయి ఉంటుంది, అన్చెక్ చేయకపోతే డేటా పోతుంది అనుకున్నాం కదా, అది ఈబీఎస్ వాల్యూమ్ లో కవర్ అవుతుంది. డీటెయిల్ గా చూద్దాం నెక్స్ట్ సెషన్ లో మనం చూద్దాం. యా టర్మినేటింగ్. సో బట్ ఇంకా ఇక్కడ చూపిస్తూ ఉంటుంది మీకు. సో ఇక్కడ కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవ్వద్దు, టర్మినేట్ చేస్తారా టర్మినేట్ అవ్వలేదు అనుకోవద్దు. సో ఆఫ్టర్ 20 minutes మీరు చెక్ చేసి రిఫ్రెష్ చేస్తే ఇట్ విల్ బి గాన్. Okay, so this is the way normally we can work on the EC2 instance creation and connecting, right, and elastic IP address association. So tomorrow we'll work on our concept which is AMIs, Amazon Machine Images. So here we have AMIs, right? These are the predefined AMIs, but in real time we don't use this. We use customized AMIs. How to create customized AMIs? How to use that customized AMI using creating servers, right? How to what is the security group? How to create security groups? How many types of groups are available? So that will cover tomorrow. Also, if you have time, EBS volumes also can cover. Okay. So first day. This is the very important session. Okay, you have to understand this. So I can explain, but you will confuse. That is why. So this is enough for today. Okay, you have to practice this first. So tomorrow we will go little advanced.
Okay, sir.
Sir, మీరు పంపించిన వీడియో
చెప్పండి.
అది నిన్నటి క్లాస్ కాదు, అది ఓన్లీ జస్ట్ క్రియేషన్ ఆఫ్ AWS, బట్ ఆ ఇంట్రడక్షన్ క్లాస్ అనేది అవి డిడ్ రిసీవ్.
మీరు సెండ్ చేసింది యాక్చువల్గా 8 to 9 వాళ్ళ క్లాస్ మనం సెండ్ చేశారు సార్.
ఓకే.
అంటే కంటిన్యూస్ క్లాస్ అన్నమాట. అది మన కంటిన్యూస్ క్లాస్ చేయకుండా పార్ట్స్ డివైడ్ చేసి పంపించారు.
ఓకే, నో ప్రాబ్లం, నేను పంపిస్తాను. ఎస్టర్డేస్ ది టుడేస్ ది పంపిస్తాను. ఓకే, సో మీరు ఏ రోజు కాదు డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. ఈ లింక్స్ ఎక్స్పైర్ అయిపోతాయి. మళ్ళీ లింక్ ఎక్స్పైర్ అయిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ వీడియో ప్రొవైడ్ చేయలేను. సో మీరు ఏం చేయాలంటే ఏ రోజు ఆ రోజే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి వీడియో. లింక్ ఎక్స్పైర్ అవుతుంది, 10 days పడుతుంది, కానీ వీడియో ఎక్స్పైర్ అయిపోతుంది. 48 hours అలా ఎక్స్పైర్ అయిపోతుంది. 3 days అనుకుంటా మ్యాక్సిమం ఉంటుంది. తర్వాత మీరు డౌన్లోడ్ చేద్దాం, డౌన్లోడ్ అవ్వదు. సో ఎక్స్పైర్ అయితే మళ్ళీ మనం కష్టం అవుతుంది. మళ్ళీ మీకు ఏదో వేరే ప్రీవియస్ బ్యాచెస్ వీటికి ఇవ్వాలండి, ఇది కష్టం అవుతుంది. ఓకే, సో అందుకే మీరు ఏ రోజు దాన్ని డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకుంటే సో మీకు అన్ని రికార్డింగ్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఓకే, సో ఇది ఒకసారి రికార్డింగ్ చూడండి మీరు మొత్తం. ఓకే, రికార్డింగ్ ఒకసారి చూడండి, చూసి ఒకసారి చేయండి. ఇది ల్యాబ్ చేస్తే మీకు క్లారిటీ వస్తుంది. సో ఫ్రమ్ టుమారో మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే సో లిటిల్ అడ్వాన్స్ EMIs అంటే ఏంటి, కస్టమైజ్ EMI ఎలా క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం, సెక్యూరిటీ గ్రూప్స్ ఎలా ఉంటాయి, ఇవన్నీ కూడా మనం 1 by 1 చూద్దాం. ఫైర్ అండి, రైట్ అండి. యా, సో ఇక్కడ స్టాప్ చేద్దాం ఈరోజు.
ఓకే,
ఫైర్ అండి, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
ఓకే సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.